Good morning and welcome. It's Corporate Governance Platform brought to you by the Institute of Chartered Secretaries and Administrators of Nigeria, ICSAN. I am Funmi Omoburiowo. ICSAN is a leading recognized professional body in Nigeria that is dedicated to enhancing the status and practice of corporate governance and public administration. All right, and this morning on the program, we want to look at the managing director's responsibilities as a delegate of the board and head of management. With me in the studio, I have Mr. CHRYSS AYAKOR, ACIS, is managing consultant, ZINAC Professionals. They're corporate governance professionals, is also managing director, ZINAC Industries Limited. Good morning, Mr. AYAKOR.
Good morning, Femi. Good morning, listeners.
All right, with me also in the studio is Mr. Kayode Ketefe, FCIS. He's head of research, ICSAN. Good morning, Mr. Ketefe.
Good morning, Fumi. Good morning to you, our distinguished guests, Mr. CHRYSS AYAKOR, and all our listeners. Good morning to you all.
We'll take this message. We'll be right back.
The world is constantly evolving into a knowledge-based economy where skills and competencies constitute the lifeblood of public and corporate governance. You therefore need to empower yourself to fit into this new world by gaining basic knowledge and improving your skill set in the governance-focused disciplines. That is why every aspiring as well as practicing professional in governance field needs ICSAN.
ICSAN. What is ICSAN?
ICSAN is a leading statutorily established professional body dedicated to enhancing the status and practice of corporate governance and public administration. ICSAN members are trained as chartered secretaries and administrators.
Who are chartered secretaries and administrators?
Chartered secretaries are high-ranking governance professionals with a broad base of skills, unique amongst other professions. They are trained in law, finance, accounting, administration, strategy development, and corporate governance. In today's world, chartered secretaries and administrators discharge a wide range of duties and responsibilities, including functioning as chairmen of companies, executive directors, non-executive directors, company secretaries, risk managers, compliance managers, board evaluators, and corporate governance evaluators.
That is interesting. How then do I become a chartered secretary and administrator?
Good. Go to the Institute's website, www.icsan.org. You can also visit the National Secretariat of ICSAN at Plot 6, Elephant Cement Way, Alausa, Ikeja, Lagos, to get full information on how to become members. ICSAN, the hub of governance professionals.
All right, as I said earlier, that we're looking at the managing director's responsibilities as a delegate of the board and the head of management. All right, Mr. AYAKOR, let's look at the basic roles of the managing director.
Good morning, and thank you once again. The managing director is one of the board members, and he is an executive director. He is the head of the management team, and his roles as far as corporate governance is concerned include the following. Of course, basically the day-to-day running of the organization. Number two, he is the one that actually promotes and protects the interests of the company as a whole. Not only that, he also ensures that he effectively, prudently manages the organizational resources, which of course include human resources and basically finance.
All right. Now, why is it not desirable in corporate governance for the managing director to also function as the chairman of the family?
Yeah, the position of the chairman is a very senior position, and also that of the MD is also a very senior position. So if you allow those two positions to be handled by one person, so many things will go wrong. One of the things that will go wrong will be total absence of independence, right? So basically, the reason why the code suggests so is to completely avoid conflict of interest and also to encourage or ensure what we call balancing the checks and balances, so to speak.
All right. Now, the managing director also serves as a delegate of the board. What are his functions? What does it entail?
Yeah, the board is saddled with corporate governance responsibility. And if you link that to our team that said that the MD performs delegated functions, then basically what that entails is that he is there to ensure that the corporate governance structure of the company is actually implemented to the latter. So that is, he's there to ensure that the corporate governance tenets is encouraged throughout.
All right, so that's as the delegate of the board. Now, what about as the head of management? What are his functions?
Yeah, as the head of the management, basically one of his key functions is strategic function, right? And when we say strategic function, of course, do not forget that the board have a responsibility to set the objective of the company. And it is not enough just to set the objective of the company. Then we need someone that is competent enough to ensure that these objectives are pursued rigorously and also are achieved. So the MD, managerially speaking, that is basically one of his oversights.
Now, the code provides that Mdcu should declare any conflict of interest on appointment and annually thereafter. What do you think this rationale? What's the rationale behind this provision?
Basically, is to give room for what we call, or what I might call, undivided loyalty. Okay. The board or the chairman or the directors, to a large extent, they are like agents of the company, right? And being agent, of course, you must not allow anything. When I mean anything, I'm talking about your personal interest actually to conflict with your corporate interest, which is the organizational interest. So if that is not allowed, then you discover that there will be conflict of interest. And if that is encouraged, most MDs might want to give more attention to things that benefit them personally instead of corporate benefits. Okay,
now another provision of the code is that the Mdcu should not be a member of committees responsible for remuneration, audit, or nomination and governance. Now, why do you think this provision was made?
Okay, if you go to look at corporate governance generally, there's what we call tenets of corporate governance, or principles, or I might want to call it pillars of corporate governance. Okay. So if corporate governance must suffice, then it must stand on pillars, and one of the pillars is independence, right? So if the MD or any of those is allowed to be a member or a chairman of any of those committees you mentioned, definitely that tenet, independence, will water away. And if it does, then so many things will go wrong. Number two, why it is very important that the chairman, the MD of the board, is not members of those committees, is to allow for what I might call 100% objectivity. And if you do not encourage objectivity, then integrity will be questioned. And of course, it will give room for subjectivity, and so many things will definitely go wrong.
Now, let's look at, advice that you probably have for CEOs or MDs of companies in Nigeria on issues of upholding tenets of corporate governance.
Do we really have time? I will give them so much advice. Let's look at, my humble advice. Number one is that they should embrace corporate governance. Number two, they should encourage corporate governance. Number three, they should entrench corporate governance. Not only that, they should also see that the structures of corporate governance are comprehensively and technically entrenched in the organization. Not only that, they should speak corporate governance. They should demonstrate corporate governance. They should practice corporate governance. My advice also goes to say that let all the CEOs in Nigeria and business environment see corporate governance as business facilitator and not business killer or rigorous compliance requirements.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Mr. CHRYSS AYAKOR. Mr. Ketefe, let me come to you for some announcements at this time.
Thank you very much, Fumi. The announcement we have for our esteemed listeners is on the forthcoming ICSAN 2022 Governance Practitioners Day. This is to inform our members, other governance professionals, and members of the public generally that the Institute's 2022 Governance Practitioners Day will hold on Tuesday, April 12, 2022. The ICSAN Governance Practitioners Day is a platform for bringing together professionals in governance field to brainstorm on issues relating to their profession and come up with ideas to expand the frontiers of knowledge in governance field. The forum is also used to contribute to trendy discourse on issues of national importance as they relate to governance. The topic for this year's Governance Practitioners Day is practical steps to boosting relationship with regulators. Practical steps to boosting relationship with regulators. Time is 11 a.m. prompt on Tuesday, April 12, 2022. The participation fee is 15,000 naira. A number of seasoned and experienced governance professionals have been lined up as the faculty for this program. The event is going to be held by hybrid method, which means participants can join through the provided link from wherever they are in any part of the world. The chief host, of course, is the president and chairman of the Governing Council of the Institute, Mr. Taiwo Benga Owokalade, FCIS, while the host is the chairman, Governance Practitioners Committee, Mr. Francis Olawale, FCIS. This event attracts 4 credit points for participating members of the Institute. Another highlight of this exciting event is the unveiling of the Institute's stamp and seal that will henceforth be used by members who are licensed by the Institute to practice as governance practitioners. The link to register for this program is available on all the Institute's website and social media platforms. This program promises to be as memorable as it will be exciting. Please go ahead now to register. For more information on this event, 2022 Governance Practitioners Day, please call Kayode on 080-3214-7720. Call Kayode on 080-3214-7720. We will be expecting you at the program. Thank you for listening and have a pleasant day ahead of you.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Delegate, FCIS, Head of Research, ICSAN. And in like manner, I say thank you to our guests, Mr. CHRYSS AYAKOR, ACIS, Managing Consultant, ZINAC Professionals, and also Managing Director, ZINAC Industries Limited. It's been wonderful having you join us on the program this morning, Mr. AYAKOR.
Always my pleasure. Thank you.
All right, and that's have it this morning on Corporate Governance Platform, brought to you by the Institute of Chartered Secretaries and Administrators of Nigeria, ICSAN. We return again next week, Wednesday, 10:15 a.m. right here on Equity 9.7 FM. I am Funmi Omoburiyowo. Enjoy the rest of the day.